What up Midgard? My name is Daniel Cumming and welcome to your weekly rune reading. So this week I'm coming to you from beautiful Ubud, Bali again. So this week will be a slightly shorter reading. Some weeks will be a little bit longer and more detailed, and some weeks will be a little bit shorter and more to the point. So what I want you to do is just take a few deep breaths in through your belly as you inhale, and then as you exhale, just deflate the belly, relax the shoulders, but keep your strong posture. So just take a few deep breaths in and out the nostrils, and what I want you to do is just think of a basic general area of inquiry. It doesn't have too specific a question. And I'm going to start shuffling the cards. So just take a few nice big breaths. So whatever comes to mind first. What I'm going to do is lay out 3 sets of cards. Alright, so we have card pile number 1, card pile number 2, card pile number 3. Don't think about it too much. Take a nice big breath in through the nose and out through the nose. Set 1, set 2, set 3. Choose your set between 1, 2 and 3. First one that comes into your head. Don't think about it too much. And with that chosen, we'll do the reading. So card set 1. So here, first card that came up is Elhaz, and second one is Kanaz. So Elhaz has been coming up a lot in the last few readings by the look of it. So it's a pretty important card. It's one of my favorite cards in the way that it's super interesting in the concept that it entails with this whole guardian aspect. Now, coupled with Kanaz, it may mean that you're neglecting some sort of craft. So maybe you've been building skills towards some particular craft. There's a big idea of wielding the sword in Elhaz. So you might have been working towards a particular craft and now you've got the skill set, but you actually need to start actioning it. So Kanaz is all about putting your skill set into action. So it's the idea of craftiness and using techniques that may not seem obvious to you is a big thing around Kanaz. So Kanaz is related to Loki in the way that Loki is a trickster and he kind of weaves his will around certain things, whereas Thor kind of just bombards straight through. So Thor's all about straight lines, whereas Loki's more so flowing around. So you may need to start implementing what you've been learning as far as what your craft is. So that could be a simple art form, that could be something to do with your business, something you're creating, building. It's pretty broad when it comes to, but you need to start taking action, and you believe that you have the skills now ready to go. But just watch out for things that may take you off that. There's a real danger in Elhaz, and I'm not sure whether that means that what you're doing is dangerous and you need to be careful about what you're doing, or it means that it's dangerous to not do it. So I know that may seem like a pretty broad answer, but Elhaz is really about just getting you out of your comfort zone and going out and riding into battle and taking your craft out with you. So whatever you've been doing, approach it, I don't want to say sneakily, but approach it like Laker would, approach it cunningly. So think about what you're going to be doing, plan it out, implement it, and be ready to adapt. But get it done. Number 2, so first we have Berkano. So Berkano is the idea of being, becoming, changing form. It's that opening. So another room, Ingwaz, is about a container. So it's like that catalyst, that cocoon shape. But this is actually the process of a cocoon opening. So this is that process of rebirth, kind of like the idea of the phoenix. And it's that idea of transformation. So you might have had a period of time where you've been working on something that led to a transformation, but now it's time to, you can actually see it's like breaking open the container. So if you've been, Othila, if you've separated a space, then it's time to break it open. Or it may mean that you've actually, in order to fulfill that full transformation, you actually need to allocate a particular space for it to happen. So it's an interesting mix of these 2 runes together. Because Berkano, we have the idea of that whole being, becoming, transforming, caterpillar to a butterfly process, birth, death, fertility. It's a big thing with this rune. So, fertile grounds. I think it's really important that you find fertile ground for whatever your transformation is. So whether you've already found that, and you need to just start being ready to leave that space, ready to go, you'll know if you've already created that space for yourself. You know what I mean? But if you haven't yet, if you haven't found that space, that fertile ground that you need, maybe you should focus on the Othila part of it. So a space separated from what you're actually doing to create a fertile ground to perpetuate that process of transformation and a safe place for you to transform, if that makes sense. So all about transformation. So finish the process if you've already been doing it. Don't be afraid to get out of the cocoon and go be a butterfly. Or if you're still in caterpillar mode right now and you're finding it hard to find that position of the cocoon or find that position towards the butterfly, then you need to create some sort of sacred space for that to happen, a fertile ground. Cool. So we have Hagalaz and Perthro. So Hagalaz is the idea of a seed form. It's the idea of patterning. It's the idea of the cosmic pattern. So it's that idea of kind of like DNA, that, you know, there's the pattern weave through everything, but a big thing about change in Hagalaz. So it's the idea of clearing away a certain pattern to make way for a better, fresh pattern. So if there's a certain pattern that's not working in your life at the moment, then you need to clear it out. Now, Perthro is similar to All About Patterns, but it's about patterns that you don't really have much control about. So it represents the idea of luck. So everything that we're doing with the rune reading right now, the idea of just picking out a random card, not knowing what's going to happen, that is all Perthro. So Perthro engenders that idea of weird. So weird synchronicities, being at the right place at the right time. You know, meeting the right person at the right time, and just having these weird synchronicities and this deja vu and just these weird occurrences. But there needs to be a bit of space for this to actually work in your life, because if you're not creating, if it's too structured and you're not creating enough, you know, space for those weird synchronicities to happen, then maybe you need to reevaluate. So there is something weird going on in your life at the moment, something that's definitely to do, this is usually a very positive rune, so that weird stuff that's happening is super positive for you. But you need to watch the structure and make sure that the structure allows for those synchronicities. So if your structure is too rigid right now, you maybe need to allow a little bit more space, you know, say yes to things, even say no to things to allow for other things to happen. So just know that if you don't allow that space for yourself, there might be a big catastrophic process that clears out stuff. And it's like if you're trying to clear out the house and make space, and, you know, something new is about to come in, and if you don't get it out in time, then they're just going to be like, all right, well, get that out, get that out, get that out, get that out, and they're not going to be so gentle with the process. So allow some space, watch what patterns that you have, that you've built, and be prepared for those patterns to be changing and to be a bit uncomfortable, but know that there's something going on that's going to make a bit of sense. And if you ride with it and roll with what you want out of your will and what you really want out of this, then weird Perthro will support you in that, and just enjoy the weird synchronicities and the weird experiences, because that's what makes life wondrous and magic so exciting. So don't shy away from the new experiences, even if they're a little bit universe shattering or comfort shattering. So that's it for this week. I hope you've enjoyed the rune reading and it's made a bit of sense. I would love to hear from you. Let me know which number 1, 2 or 3 that you picked in the comments below. Let me know what it meant to you and if it made a bit of sense. And if you have any other questions about the runes or this rune reading, let me know. You can get in touch with me through runeyoga.org, or I'll always reply to the comments below if you leave them. Thanks for joining me, and I'll see you next week. Ryan till Runa.